everybody, and welcome to the first edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. We've got quite an exciting half hour for you, and we want you to stay tuned for it. As a matter of fact, get on the telephone, call a friend, and say, Jerry Lawler Show is on the air right now. That's right, we are on the air right now. Can you believe it? That's the way it all started 300 weeks ago, right here at TV5. That's almost 6 years that we've been doing the Jerry Lawler Show every Sunday morning here from Channel 5. And what we're going to do today is I guess it's kind of a special occasion. We're going to take a look back at some of the more memorable events that have taken place here during those 300 shows. And we're going to take a look at some of the different locations that we've done the show from. We're going to take a look at, some of the more memorable bad guys that have been on the show. We're going to go back and take a look at, I think, our first one-on-one guest, our very first guest, and it's ironic that he should be on this show also today. You'll see why in just a few minutes. Also, not only did we have some unusual wrestlers as guests, we even had some unusual animals on the show over the 300 shows that we've done, and we're going to take a look back at that. Right now, as I said, we've done the show from, of course, the studio many times, but we've also been out on location in different areas, and right now we're going to take a look at a few of those locations that we did the show from. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. And as you can tell, a little bit of different setting. I am in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, so far we have visited here in Philadelphia Independence Hall, the Norman Rockwell Museum, and of course a trip to Philadelphia would not be complete without a stop at Zipperhead. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. The reason I say special is because, as you can see, we're not in the studio. We're out at the site of the Special Olympics, which was held. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Jerry Lawler Show. We've got a special show for you today. You know, this is the grand opening weekend of Beale Street, so we thought that this would be an appropriate setting for today's show. And we got quite a show for you. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. And as you can see, we're standing here on the 50-yard line of beautiful Liberty Bowl Stadium, which is the future home of the Memphis Showboats. And of course, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. And once again, we're coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. And we've done a show from the Liberty Bowl Stadium. We've done a show from Beale Street. And this morning, we're doing a show from my room here at St. Francis Hospital. And this has been All right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. And boy, that was pretty impressive, wasn't it? Huh? Right there, right? The Jerry Lawler Show right on the scoreboard. As you can see, we are coming to you today live. The very first time on all our shows, live and direct from the Liberty Bowl, beautiful Liberty Bowl Stadium right here in Memphis. Well, hello, everybody, and it's good to be back on the show. As you can tell, we're in a little different setting today. Not being able to be back at the... Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Jerry Lawler Show. As you can see, we're in a special setting today. This is sunny Sanibel, Florida, right here, where I have a condominium, and I like to come down here, especially when I get a chance to do some R&R, rest and recuperation. This is where I head to, and going to be doing the show from here this afternoon. And a very special show because we're on at 4:30 in the afternoon, thanks to the all-day tennis marathon that you've been seeing here on Channel 5. But we got a good show for you. We want you to stay tuned for the entire thing because you're going to be seeing, well, the universal heartthrob, Austin Idol. And the camera, fellas, we're up here. Who was it? Was that Bo Derek? Bo! She's stuck up. You know how she is. Anyway, tell you what, we're going to have a... Anyway, as you can see, we've done our show from a lot of different locations. But as we said, we're back here in the studio today for our 300th show, sort of an anniversary, so to speak. And that brings to mind our first anniversary show. When we had been on 1 year, we had a lot of the wrestlers come on and congratulate us for being on a year. And as we go to a break right now, we're going to show you one guy, Jerry Calhoun, the referee, trying his best to congratulate us. Here he is.
You mean tell me Jerry Lawler's been on the show, You mean to tell me Jerry Lawler's been on the show, has his... Let me go again. You mean to tell me Jerry Lawler's been on for 1 year? My, oh my, how time flies. And yes, from me being on the show, the ratings went sky. Come on, Lynn, cut it out. He said, Mr. Calhoun, would you like to be on my show? I said, Lawler, I'd love to be on your show. But you realize that the ratings are going to go sky high once I'm on your show. So he said, please be on it, because you could really help me out.
And as I said, it's sort of ironic that we're going to take a look back at our very first one-on-one guest, because he happens to be the guy that I'm going to be facing this coming Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. It's none other than the universal heartthrob, Austin Idol. And we're going to go back right now nearly 6 years ago to our first one-on-one interview. The sexy, steamy, sultry Austin Idol, and we have him here with us in the studio today. That was quite a piece of video there.
I was very impressed with it, and as a matter of fact, Jerry, I want to come right out here in front at the outset of this interview and just say it's really a pleasure to be here, and I'm just tickled pink to be the first guest on your first show.
Well, naturally, I'm glad to have you here, because they asked me, they said, who would you want to have as your first guest? And naturally, my partner, Austin Idol. Now, as I said, that's the reason it is ironic, because at that time, Austin Idol and I were partners, and things have, of course, as everybody knows, degenerated since then, and now we are going to be facing each other, as I said, tomorrow night at the Coliseum. You know, that interview at that time, when we were partners and friends, went very well, as did most of our one-on-one interviews, but we did have a few over the years that didn't always go so well, and we're going to take a look at some of those right now.
The last time we was on the show, Jerry Lawler said, we'll have you back in the near future. Was that, man, Rick, a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago. That's the near future.
Do you know, we're going to have you back in the near future.
Near future.
No, I'm kidding.
Near future.
I'm
Near
serious.
future.
And we...
See you in 89.
I know it. You're a bully, Lawler. So you pick your spot.
Oh, man.
No, you do. You pick your spots, because, see, you've had everybody on this show. I mean, all wrestlers, football players, you've had everybody. But not the Dream Machine. But now you've got me on here because you know that the shape that I'm in with this cast on here, and you know that I'm not able to do anything. You know I'm helpless. Because, see, you are a bully. You're just like Memphis. You're built on a bluff. No, you are. Go ahead and laugh. Get that little grin that you always do out there. But, see, you don't want the people to really know what kind of a person that you really are. But, see, I know that.
You do know that?
Yes, I know it.
I think I'm a pretty nice guy to even have you on here. You know,
Oh,
you
really?
could be...
You need some class on here. How's your ratings?
Is that
today?
why I had you on here
Yeah,
for
well,
class?
sure.
Okay.
I predict you're going to be the new world champion. Like I told you before, Mr. Lawler, I respect you a lot. Like you said that you wrestled against me before. I wanted to put you out of commission the first day when you entered the
And
ring.
you almost did.
Well, because, Lawler, I respected you, and then, like I said, Lawler, if you fight against the best man, this and that, you know, when you win a victory like that, you know you win a victory. And like I said, I always respected you, Lawler, and you're the greatest wrestler. I've been all over the world. I've been to my country, everything, and then just like in Japan, your name is well known there, and you respected over there. And like I said, if you go to Japan, I wish you all the luck. I know it's my country too, but I think, in my opinion, Mr. Lawler, I think you can be the next world heavyweight champion. And I predict that, and I'm going to wish you and congratulate you.
Okay, we got a gift certificate for you. What else can I give you for saying all that good stuff? You know...
And discover me. I discovered myself.
Now, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, you shut up. I'm doing the talking.
Oh,
I signed a little agreement not to punch you in the nose, but I broke them agreements before. Oh, boy.
No, that's just a little joke. Come on, man. Now, that's another thing. Whose idea was the sword?
Hey, this is a real sword from
I
the Civil
realize
War.
it is. I realize
You're
it
fixing
is.
to have your head on it.
I guess this is the big moment. The time is here. It's finally arrived. We want you to turn around and give Memphis a glimpse.
Are you sure you want this?
Well, I know I do. I'm just.
What,
Are you sure?
Is my makeup in place?
Well, let me just say this. For a show that is predominantly about wrestling, I think she's dressed appropriately, don't you?
I would say so, Jerry. I would really say
But
so.
we'll be looking at camera?
That's the camera,
Just
right?
turn around and look.
Just turn around, Eloise.
Get ready, folks.
There's...
Come on, Belfast!
Well, anyway, that was an interview with, I'm sure most of you remember, one of the most popular radio figures ever in Memphis history, Aunt Eloise. We just saw her on camera there on an interview, and when we come back after these commercial messages, we're going to take a look at Aunt Eloise in the ring in action. That's right, she actually wrestled on the show, and we'll see that in just a minute. Stay with us. Time out for just a second here to tell you about the action that is coming up tomorrow night at the Mid-South Coliseum. And as I said, a little bit ironic that we just saw Austin Idol and that he was on our very first show, because you're going to see that he is my opponent down there tomorrow night. But first, here's the entire card. Of course, the matches start at 8 o'clock. Regular prices, no increase at all for this big card. Free parking, so we'll see you down there. And if you're there at 8, you're going to see the opening match, which consists of, Ooh, big action Jackson. And this guy is, believe me, I went up against this guy last week, and he is one more big individual. He's going to be taking on Van Horn in the opening match down there. In the second match, Jed Grundy's got his work cut out for him because he's facing a newcomer to the area, a guy coming back in here that a lot of people are familiar with. Will remember the Dirty White Boys. Well, here's one of them making his way back into the Mid-South Coliseum. He's going to be going up against Jed Grundy in the second match. Then another newcomer to the area. Boy, this guy, ooh, he is awesome. Detroit Demolition, and he's taking on Frankie Lancaster. Now, the Demolition had I guess, a fairly easy go of it last week, but Frankie Lancaster should provide him some pretty stiff competition. Should be a real good match right there. Speaking of good matches, what about this one? Dirty Dutch Mantell. He's going to be going up against Scott Steiner. And there, boy, there's one guy that I guess knows every wrestling move, every counter move, and then some. Probably more, forgotten more than Dutch will ever know. So that should be a really, really good match. Looking forward to it. And speaking of matches I'm looking forward to, the jerk Brian Lee that he is sold the key to that cage last week in the Rage in the Cage match to Sylvia and Robert Fuller and let that whole side go. And so I guess he just feels right at home now with Robert Fuller as his partner. He's going to be going against Jeff Jarrett and John Paul. Of course, Tracy Smothers out of action now at the hands of Robert Fuller in the stud stable. So there's a lot of incentive in this match. Jeff Jarrett and John Paul against Robert Fuller and Brian Lee, as you see there, with Sylvia. They're probably thick as thieves these days. Then we're looking at it right here. Yours truly against the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, and he's coming back in here. You see the stipulation says if Lawler wins, he gets a world title match. Well, the same stipulation applies for Austin Idol. He's been promised that if he can knock me out of contention, that he's going to get a shot at the world title. That's what Ronnie Gossett has promised him. So, you know, I've tried to show Idol that this Gossett is just a double dealer. He doesn't care. You know, he's promising title shots to everybody. Master of Pain better be the one that looks out if he's not careful. Then, speaking of the Master of Pain, their world, the unified world title at stake. Master of Pain with Ronnie Gossett in his corner is going to be putting that title on the line against somebody that is even bigger than he is, Lord Humongous. And boy, that should be one heck of a match right there. The world title at stake, Lord Humongous against the Master of Pain with Ronnie Gossett. That is all tomorrow night at the Mid-South Coliseum. As we said, starts at 8 o'clock. We will see you right down there. And hey, speaking of Lord Humongous, he happens to be our Covington Pike Toyota Wrestler of the Week this week. And in his honor, the fine people out of Covington Pike Toyota, John Riddell, Kent Ritchie, all those fine people are going to donate or are donating $100 to a local Memphis charity in the name of Lord Humongous. And, you know, speaking of Covington Pike Toyota, those people have been with us for many of those 300 weeks. Being a sponsor of not only the championship wrestling program on Saturdays, but of also of the Jerry Lawler Show. And, you know, one of the great things that they do is, as we said, each week, $100 to a local Memphis charity. And, boy, over the weeks, that has added up and added up. And we just want to take this opportunity to thank Kent Ritchie, John Riddell, and all the fine people out of Covington Pike Toyota for being a part of the Jerry Lawler Show and a part of wrestling in general here on TV5, and a great part of the Memphis community and donating each week to a local Memphis charity. So thank you out there. And as I said, Lord Humongous this week's Covington Pike Toyota Wrestler of the Week. And now what we want to do is get back into our 300 shows. And there was one very special Wrestler of the Week a while back. As I said, everybody remembers probably Aunt Eloise that was on 79 radio here for years. She and her wrestling, well, her partner on the radio, there he is, Bill Dotson at the time, they were always saying something derogatory about politicians, and especially Senator John Ford. So, boy, they decided to get in the ring and square off and go at each other. And the match was going, I guess, pretty well Bill Dotson's way there for a while. But then John Ford got the best of him. Aunt Eloise was on the outside of the ring just kind of watching all the action. And when John Ford finally was getting the best of Bill Dotson, Aunt Eloise finally had to enter the ring and take action or take matters into her own hands. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch a little bit of this, and then we're going to see the end of that match as Aunt Eloise actually entered the ring herself.
Pin him! Pin him! Got him there. You got him, darling. Pin him. Pin his shoulders back. You got to pin his shoulders back. Oh, Lord have mercy. He's got you. I don't believe it. He's got him. He's got him. Oh, I don't believe it. Great day in the morning. I can't stand it no longer. I can't stand it. I gotta help him. I gotta help you. I'm coming, Bill. Help's on the way, Bill. Don't worry, honey bud. Get out the way, Jerry. Get out the way. He needs my help, Jerry. He needs my help. I'm a-coming. I'm a-coming. I'm gonna put the possum super-duper on him. Here I come. The possum super-duper. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't carry on no more, Bill.
Well, that was the end of Aunt Eloise's wrestling career, and may have had something to do with ending her radio career in Memphis too. I don't know, but anyway, I'll tell you, that was a kind of a neat match. And one of the other segments that we've had on the show from time to time, well, of course, it was our viewer mail segment, and we got a lot of interesting letters and comments from the fans out there that watched the show. And one of them that comes to mind in particular involved the referee, Jerry Calhoun. Well, I'll tell you, I think this tape is self-explanatory. We had a card sent in, and as a matter of fact, right now we're going to let you take a look at this card from down in Mississippi. There it is, from a gentleman by the name of John Goss. Now, I don't know if that's supposed to be him and his family or if it's just a postcard, but anyway, he sent us a card in, and John's question was for referee Jerry Calhoun. It's a very simple question. It said, is Jerry Calhoun blind, or can he just not see good? Well, we had to kind of track Jerry Calhoun down. He's got, of course, everybody knows he works at Federal Express and then referees, but apparently he's got another job, and we were able to find Calhoun and let him answer your question, John. Here he is.
Okay, Mr. Goss, about that remark you made about me.
Calhoun, camera's over here. Over here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Mr. Goss, about that remark you made about me not being able to see in the ring. I can see everything that goes on in the ring. Matter of fact, at least 99% of everything that goes on. So my refereeing has been exceptional lately. Excuse me. Get your pencils right here, get your pencils. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. You cheap jerk. By the way, where was I? Oh, Mr. Goff. Well, you're talking about my eyesight. You ought to be able to look at your own. If that dadgum Hank standing next to you that you're married, boy, I tell you what, you call that your wife? And anyway, I like to see you get in the ring with Lawler and Bundy and see how well you referee. But until then, don't talk about my refereeing, you jerk. Get your pencils right here, get your pencils.
Well, anyway. Jerry Calhoun has his other job. Tell you what, we're going to take a break. We're going to be back with more exciting remembrances from our past 300 shows. Stay with us.
First of all, I don't like to be forced to do anything. People here at Channel 5 asked me to come down here, and I said no. I wasn't going to come down here and talk about stupid Jerry Lawler and this goofy TV show. I don't care if all these big fat sweat hogs all over Memphis like Jerry Lawler.
You know, normally I'm Jesse the Body Ventura, San Diego, California. And normally, you know, I don't come on little funky TV, local programs like this. I understand this is Jerry Lawler's show. Well, the first thing I want to tell you, Jerry Lawler, is the television company has come to me, and they're seriously considering replacing you with me. It'll be the Jesse the Body Show in the near future, Memphis, Tennessee. You know, I've been down here in Memphis about 1 month now, off and on, and I don't like Memphis, Tennessee, and I don't like too much of the people around here. They're very unfriendly. They don't realize talent when they see it.
There he is. You came in number 2 on our turkey contest.
Listen, Lawler, I didn't know that you were having a contest like that, and if I'd known, I'll sue you. I'll sue you for having me on a contest like that. You are using my name, my face. My name is worth money, and you want to put me on a turkey contest? Let me tell you something. You put my head on the face on that turkey, and I'm going to sue you for slander and libel. That's making me look bad.
No, we're not doing that. God beat us to that. But let me just say that.
Lawler, I didn't come here to be insulted. I'll walk right out of here. I'm telling you right now, I'm used to being on big shows nationwide. I'm not used to being on a little rinky-dink local show. And what are you trying to be like, David Letterman with the Jerry Lawler show? You're always telling me not to be in the wrestling business. Now you're trying to be in show business like me. You don't belong in show business. You should stay in the wrestling business.
Well, there they were. That was Andy Kaufman and Jesse the Body Ventura and Stan Hansen. Those guys acted like animals sometime, didn't they? Well, speaking of animals, we've had some of them on the show, too. Look at this. Talking about none other than our pal Zippy. Now, Zippy, first I want to ask you what you think of Jimmy Hart. Now, Zippy, I'm sure that you've seen Jimmy Hart, and everybody knows that on Saturday mornings, Zippy, are you listening? I hope you are. On Saturday mornings, Jimmy Hart is always running that big mouth of his. Can you give me your impression of what Jimmy Hart looks like on Saturday mornings? Also on Saturday mornings, we have our announcer, Lance Russell, who I refer to as Banana Nose. Now, I'm sure you've seen Lance Russell. Give me your impression of Lance Russell. Okay, now, one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. I'm really not that worried about you being in the First Family because I think that you have more brains than Jimmy Hart. But one of the things I'd like to ask you about is we have one of our favorite sportscasters here in Memphis. His name is Jack Eaton, and I'm sure you've seen Jack Eaton report the sports. Now, give me your impression of Jack Eaton doing sports commentary. What you're doing with these are using them, like you said, for people that want to use them in commercials or videos, music videos, or,
yeah,
or any of that kind of stuff. I think she wants to eat the microphone.
No, she had a big ride over here, and she's a little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous. Okay, calm down, Nicole. All right, could you give us a telephone number where anybody out there that's watching that would like to buy me a new shirt? Okay, Nicole. This is great, I'll tell you, boy. Where anybody that wants to get in touch with you to use one of these cats, what is the telephone number?
Let me stand up here.
Okay, just choke her right down. You ever had a pile driver put on you, Nicole?
That is it. I tell you what, we are out of time. That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for being here. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.